Hey guys, Tonic here. A few hours ago, Bethesda updated the Fallout 76 PTS. In this update, we got our first look at the new Playable Ghoul, and this seems like it's a lot more than just a cosmetic change. There are new perks, faction interactions, a new questline, new locations, and even a new event. So in this video, we'll take a quick look at everything, and like always with my PTS videos, I will try to avoid major spoilers, and I will add timestamps down below so you can skip around if you'd like. But with all of that being said, let's get right into it. Starting off, to change your character into a ghoul, you will have to complete a short quest line. At level 50, this quest will become available. It's called Leap of Faith, and you can find it in your side quests. To start, we have to listen to a radio transmission.
There are bandits in Appalachia, scary masked fellas with no mercy or remorse.
We learned that a man was ambushed by some strange bandits, and he was going to the White Spring Refuge for help. Getting to the refuge, we find that man with a doctor. We can tell him that we heard his broadcast, and we learn that he has really bad radiation sickness and he doesn't have much time left. But then, feeling bad for the man, the doctor says this.
I shouldn't even be saying this, but I've heard some rumors. A radiation specialist up in the hills, north of the Savage Divide. I don't know what that means or if they even exist, so just take it with a grain of salt.
So we learn about a mysterious radiation specialist up in the hills, and we can offer to go along and help him find this person. This takes us to the far northeast corner of the map, and right away I was kind of surprised by this location because I thought that it was pretty far out there. But as I ran towards it, I started noticing new location icons pop up at the bottom of my screen on the compass. So it looks like they expanded the map for this, so that's really cool. I was not expecting a small map expansion with this. That really caught my interest, and I wanted to go investigate these places before continuing with the quest. But as I got near them, I started running into really big pockets of radiation, and I realized that most of this area is probably easier to explore once you turn into a ghoul. So we'll get back to these locations a bit later. But back to the quest line, at the map marker you will find a cave entrance, and inside you will find your friend being held at gunpoint by a ghoul.
He's one of them. The bandits!
I need you both to explain what you saw and how you found us here, before I decide it's not worth hearing the answer.
From here we can say that we are just looking for help, and this is where the questline kind of kicks off. We learn a lot of information and we can go on a mission with the ghoul to help this guy out. After the mission we can convince him to turn into a ghoul, and we can join him if we'd like. So that's pretty much the questline. It's not very long, it took me about maybe 25 or 30 minutes. And again, I wanted to avoid spoiling everything, so I did chop the footage up a bit and I left some cool stuff out. But that's pretty much the basic plot of the questline. Now let's talk about turning into a ghoul. Again, after the questline you will have the option. You will get this pop-up. It says that you can leave your humanity behind, harness rads to power new perks and abilities, and you can always change it back if you don't like it. If you choose to be a ghoul, you have to use this inhaler, and it does have a neat animation. Then you will have to walk into a special room full of rads. This will knock you out, and you will wake up in a new location with other ghouls around. The transformation is complete, and we are now a ghoul. From here we can customize our ghoul, and we get a ton of new options, and I was kind of impressed with the new stuff. So we have a few different presets here, and going into the actual options, we can change the skin to smooth or default. Then we also have some different hair options, and for the eyes, we have a ton of different eyes. And moving on to these scars and makeup and all of that, we have specific ghoul scars, we have ghoul blush, ghoul eyeshadow, ghoul lipstick. There's a ton of options here. There's grime, face tattoos. It's pretty cool. After this, we get another pop-up with some more information, and then we are free to roam around. After leaving, you'll come up to the surface, and you are sort of in like a ghoul settlement. This area is covered in rads. It is pretty neat though. They have a garden and some buildings with ghouls roaming around. And the first thing I wanted to do as a ghoul was check out the new locations. So this is Radiant Hills, and this seems to be like the ghoul's main base. Then we have Point Repose, and this location is kind of neat. When you walk in there, there are construction robots going around and a few small buildings. There's also this locked door with a note, and on the other side of the door there is a ton of feral ghouls. So it seems like when they feel like they are going feral, they can go into this area, and I thought that was pretty cool. The location does also have some lore notes laying around. Lastly, I came across this new lake, and I was really confused at first because there is nothing interesting here. It's just a body of water. But after jumping in, I realized that it is very deep, so I swam all the way down, and I found a tiny cave with some treasure and a note. Also, I have been running around this area a bit, looking for new camp spots and stuff, and I found this really cool area. This is over here, it's just above Radiant Hills. And yeah, check this out. It's like a little cave with a lake in it. You can place your camp all over here. And also, if you follow this river down, you will come across this really cool view and a huge waterfall. Again, you can place your camp anywhere here, and if you jump down, you can also place your camp over here and have the waterfall behind you and have this really cool view. Up next, let's talk about the faction interactions. I was really interested in this part of the update. I thought that it was neat that some factions would react to you being a ghoul, and I wanted to see just how much they would react. Like, is it just a short line of dialogue, or is it more than that? So first I went over to the Brotherhood of Steel to see what would happen, and to my surprise, nothing happened. No comments, nothing, so I tried to go inside and I got this message saying that I can't go in without a disguise. Alright, I was hoping for a little bit more with the Brotherhood, at least some comments about how much they hate ghouls. But anyways, I went to try the other factions. It's the same with Foundation, no comments from anyone and I can't go in. And surely the Raiders would let me in, but nope, I was also locked out of that, which is kind of weird because I thought that they would be alright with ghouls. And just out of curiosity, I tried to go to the Wayward, and I got the same message. So I'm not sure what's up with this system. Some of these factions should be fine with ghouls, and I wanted at least some comments or dialogue about me being a ghoul, but I couldn't find any. So then I went to go and get a disguise, and I got this outfit, and you cannot take it off, the game won't let you. The only way you can take it off is if you talk with the ghoul again. The outfit is the same every time, and with this outfit you can enter any location and nobody knows that you are a ghoul, so you can continue like normal if you are dressed in this outfit. This whole part was pretty disappointing, it just feels half-baked. I was hoping that the Brotherhood members would say rude things and that the Raiders would comment on it, and that the Settlers would maybe mention it but be alright with it, but I can't even go inside to talk with any of them. The disguise part is also kind of weird, it's just an outfit, so I don't see why we can't wear any mask and have that count as a disguise. Now this is just the PTS, so all of this could change, and I hope it does, but for now the faction interactions are just weird. Also, we do have some new perk cards, and there are a ton. So if you are a ghoul, you get unique perk cards, and if I covered all of them in this video, it would be very long. So for this, I would like to recommend watching Tier's video on the new perk cards, and I will link that down below. He goes through all of them, and the video is like 30 minutes long, so I highly recommend that if you want to look into these new perk cards. Lastly, we do have a new event. This is called the Big Bloom, and it takes place at a new location called Susan's Cabin. And right away, I gotta say that I love the look of this area. It's right in between the Cranberry Bog and the new Shenandoah National Park area, and here it is very colorful, and to start the event you will have to talk with Susan. You can offer to help and she will say that her meadow is overrun by leafy hooligans. At the start of the event you will have to pick a ton of flowers and place them in a basket out front, but you have to be careful because there are landmines everywhere. This part is pretty easy, I just ran around collecting flowers and dodging enemies. And speaking of the enemies, you will actually find some overgrown here with some colorful flowers on them, along with some bloatflies and colorful honeybeasts. After this, you will have to burn the overgrown. There's a basket of Molotov cocktails on the roof that you can use, and after that stage you will have to fight a boss. And that is pretty much it. It's not super easy, there were a lot of enemies, but with a few people you will be fine. And the boss is kind of tanky, but it's not too bad. It's a neat event and I love the location, and overall I enjoyed it. My only complaint was that it was a little laggy at times. So I am excited for this update. Playing as a ghoul is fun, the quest line is good, the new locations are cool, and the new event is pretty fun. But I still think they have a good amount of work to do. The faction interactions and disguise system really need some work, and I would assume that some of the perks and abilities will be slightly changed over the course of the PTS. But overall, I liked a lot of it and I am looking forward to this update. But that is pretty much going to be it for this video, so I would like to say thank you so much for stopping by and watching, I really appreciate it. And as always, I'd like to give a massive thank you to all of the channel members: Joe Pervincente, Theodore, Louis Dremen, Radcon, F95XM1, Evilman1979, Some Random Bloke, Jive and Joe, Kevin W, Edvale, Shikari, Revival Dan, Ubi, Ice Cream Manny, Jays the Aussie, I Am Mr. Me Not You, Dr. Calamari, Argent Deer, Shaky Ann's Workshop, Loopy, Cia Rem114, Slappy Sauce, Victrix, Anna S, Gold T Lanthar, Captain Awesome, Heather Henderson, Patrick Ruda, 20th Ice Fire, Bowser Double Fairing, Christy Mellon Schwitz. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys, and have a great day.